This is Gina Brandstetter, and I wanted to share with you my workshop that I created with the Take to the Skies Designer Series paper. This paper is great for travel. It is great for anything masculine, boys, a baby, anything at all. I was excited to see this paper in Stampin' Up's catalog because I was used to florals and not a lot of masculine paper. And this just excited me to create a workshop using this. Now, for this workshop, I also use the Adventurous Sky stamp and dies. Now, this one is a cling stamp. I've got the stamp out there. So you can see it's one of the red rubber stamps. And there are also dies that coordinate with it. Now you will notice there are a lot more dies than there are stamps. And that is because Stampin' Up! Always has extra dies that you do not need to stamp with. And so that gives you a lot more options when using the dies. So I want to go over my pages first, just to kind of show you what I created. There are 4 layouts here, and then I'm going to share with you a technique that I used on this page. This is layout 1, and you can see there's a lot of clouds up here. This is one of the techniques I'm going to share with you because I used a masking technique with the clouds. I've got some background stamped, these little rivets onto the white base page. Another thing I used, and I forgot to get it, is this embossing folder, which is really neat looking. It creates a rivet look onto your cardstock when you emboss with it. I've also got some of these little industrial trinkets throughout the layout. I want to show you those close up. Now they are not adhesive back, and there is a reason for that. Let me get these out. You can use these. I'm going to show it close up either way, front or back. So you've got 2 options with this. So that is, I was confused as to why at first there was no adhesive on these, but then I realized you can use it by flipping them over. Just some neat little extra embellishments there. So this is layout 1, and I did color my planes. You can use markers, you can use pencils, whatever you are comfortable coloring with, whatever your favorite medium is to use. This is layout number 2. My layouts are pretty simple, easy to put together. And you can see these are this plane here. I want to show you that I use one of the pages or 2 of the pieces of paper in this designer series paper is cut apart. So to give you 4x6 cards and 3x4 cards, and that came in really handy. Some of them are even tags, and you can see I used one of the tags here. This is layout 2. So this is layout 3, and you can see I used a lot of the tags across the page here, and I used some of these little industrial trinkets, and some I actually just cut a hole in and found some twine, and you can use these as journaling pieces. This one easily slides out. And again, I've got some background stamping. This is actually from the cut apart page too. I use both of the pieces. I'll show you, let's see, I've got the piece of paper here. This is in the instructions. This is what the, when I say cut apart, this is what I mean. And see, I've got everything labeled. When you cut these pieces apart, where they will go. This piece right here, this 4x6 piece, I use it with the dies to cut out the plane. And there is another, like the body of the plane on this piece here. I use this piece for a title. See, they are clearly marked, and it really does add a lot to your pages. And the final page here. This is a Cricut cut title. You can use any title that you want. There is a link to my titles that I used with Cricut. So if you do own those images, you can actually cut the same titles that I used. And here we've got more clouds, and I used a blending brush on the clouds just to add a little dimension. This is one of the planes that I used the 4x6 and 3x4 cards to put the plane together. So there's no coloring on that plane. That makes it kind of fun. So now I just want to show you one of the techniques that I used. And on the first layout, let me pull this back over here so you can see where I did this masking. Now on the clouds, I do want to say when you cut out your clouds, you do want, because it is a red rubber stamp, you want to stamp it first and then place your die over your stamped image and cut it out. And that is because it is a red rubber stamp and you can't really see through it. Now what I did is I just cut out some clouds. And this is just regular paper. And the reason why I like to use just regular paper or a Post-it note is because it's thinner and there's not so much of a drop off when you are blending across. And I will show you that. So here is a piece of scrap paper. I used basic gray ink. So you will stamp your cloud onto your base page first. And I think I had a little one also. And so here is my die cut. And it helps to have a little bit of adhesive. I forgot to bring that over here. And you will place that over your stamped image. This is on your base page. And then after you just place your masking piece over it, and then you're going to just go over. And so when you pull that up, you can put as much or as little as you want. You can see, I didn't have that perfectly placed on there. Let's see if I can do a little bit better there. If you have a thicker piece of cardstock, that's what gives you a more definite line. But there you go. So you can actually add your color without going on to your stamped image to make it look like your cloud is in front of the darker sky. So that's how I did those masked pieces. So that is pretty much it, I think, that I wanted to point out on these layouts. Now, if you will remember, you can get these workshop guides that this design team is furnishing. We released a new workshop guide featuring a different designer series paper every month. So on the first of the month, you can see what the new featured release is. And you can get these guides for free when you make a $50 purchase on any of the design team members' website. Just send that design team member that you ordered from an email and let her know that which guide that you would like. You can get the featured one of the month, or you can get any of the past guides that have been released. So thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of the week.